I am the night. I am this man. Yeah. Greetings, my minions. It is I, Evil Hero Memphis, here today to show you the power of evil. Okay, no, I'm not doing the character the whole time. But hello, everybody on YouTube. It's your boy, the Memphis Accelerate, welcoming you back to check this out. The show where we take a look at whatever deck we want to take a look at and have ourselves a good old time doing it. Today, everybody, we're not playing elemental heroes, despite the fact that Neos is in here. We're actually taking a look at the new evil hero support. These are, well, they're about a couple weeks old at this point. I'm always slow to get new archetypes out, but you know what? We're taking a look at the evil heroes today, and we're going to be taking a look at them in a mostly pure kind of form. You know, I think it's a little bit too easy to just combine evil hero new stuff with, you know, the Stratos and the Ferris combo with the malicious Bade and all that stuff. We don't need to have all the crazy hero combos and go for like 20-minute turns or anything like that. We're just gonna go for nice, clean, evil hero stuff. As ironic as it is to say that with an archetype called Evil Heroes. But we're summoning out the Evil Heroes. We're summoning them out all the time. Fusion, summoning a whole bunch of big fusion monsters. And bringing out the new boss monster. It's actually pretty nasty guy, because he can just keep stealing my opponent's stuff for basically free. Basically, he's just free stealing your opponent's stuff. So we got ourselves our deck. We're going to be showing off the wombos and the combos, the what do's, the what not do's. The evil do's. Ooh, that's what we're doing. So, if you want the whole deck list, it's going to be at the end of the video as always. For now, let's get out into Yugioh Pro. Show off what this deck can do. Show off some evil shenanigans. And have ourselves a good old time. Alrighty, everybody. Our first opponent of the day. Another card game. So, we're going to go ahead and... Yep. Hold on a second. Okay. How does Alter see in these things? I don't get it. Anyway, we're going to be... Here's what this deck do. We either go first or second. It kind of meanders based on what you have. I kind of lean towards going first to go third, though, I would say, with this deck. It's one of those decks where we like to set up and then hit our opponent. So that's what we're going to do. And we will start with Stratos this time. I find that Vion is actually better for like starting up a lot of the Eevee hero plays. But of course, Stratos is still in here. He's still doing his thing. So, yeah, we'll go for the Stratos, we'll go for the Vion, but that's most of, like, the actual Elemental Vision hero stuff that most hero decks will do. I want to do different stuff, though, so here's what we're going to do. We're not going to send Shadow Mist. You'd think Shadow Mist? No, we're not sending that guy. We're sending Evil Hero Sinister Necrom, actually. Because with this dude, you can banish him from your graveyard, summon a hero of the evil variety from your deck. And we're going to go for this guy, Evil Hero Infernal Rider. Pretty nice, because when he special summon, I had Dark Fusion. And I could banish him with a whole bunch of other stuff to search Super Poly. It's really cool. A really cool thing. So now that we've got all this set up, we're going to go for our Infernal Devicer. Good old Link Boy, because when this guy's summoned, I can just reveal a fusion. And then I can add a monster material that's listed on him. So that's just my Neo Searcher. Very good. That way I've got all of that set up. So now what I need to do... is remind me to elemental here. Yeah, I only have no elemental heroes at the moment. Not at the moment. So what we're going to do here, we're going to use Vion's effect. We're going to go ahead and banish Stratos. And we're going to search polymerization. That way I have polymerization going for me. And additional to that, we're going to activate, let's see. I do have favorite contact, which is really nice if I wanted to go for my giant wingman boy. But I don't have the materials at the moment to make that work too well. So what we're going to do is activate our Evil Assault spell. This is basically like emergency call for evil heroes. Pretty cool. I haven't seen any chance of Ash Blossoming, so I'm just going to risk it for the biscuit. And we're going to summon out this guy, Doom Prison. He's basically Prisma for this archetype. Because once per turn, I just ditch a monster from the deck like Shadow Mist here. And then I can copy the name of one of my fusion materials that's specifically listed on somebody when I fusion summon. It's pretty good. And also I'll change off Shadow Mist, you know. Might as well get the guy to do his thing. And oh, this is Bestials, you say. Okay, I mean, that doesn't stop me, but that's cool, I suppose. That's cool. And let's see. Now that we've done all that, I'm going to go ahead and get Mr. Adusted Gourd. Gonna get a dust to gold, because that lets me search out a lot of my things. Magnum Hut will get its activated effect off. Very cool. I do need to rush a little bit more, though. Well, this ain't a 20-minute turn deck. It does take a minute to do some of these turns. So, let me think. I need to fusion again, and that requires me to fusion summon. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the new Dark Contact spell. That way I can fuse again. So that's what we're going to do. We use Dark Contact to fuse by shuffling monsters into the deck. And we're going to summon out this thing, Infernal Backlash. We will need the prison for this. And we can use anybody in our graveyard. Doesn't really matter too much. We'll get Necron back. That way we can use them again later. And we'll summon out Infernal Backlash. This searches out yet another card. A lot of searching with the new evil heroes. Those are kind of what you would expect, considering they're a new archetype. And every new archetype has to have a lot of searching. Lots of searching indeed. Let's see here. What do I want to do next? I need to check favorite here, because sadly that requires elemental heroes, and that's one of the small cruxes with our deck, is that we have some elemental heroes, but not a lot of them. Not a lot. So it's fine. Doesn't matter too much. We'll set this trap for later, and we're going to activate our Dark Fusion. We're going to go ahead and fusion into our big boss boy, which uses Neos in the hand and Vion on the board, and we'll summon him out. Now, when this guy gets fusion summoned, or my opponent activates a card effect of the, what was it? Monster sent to the opponent's graveyard. That's right. If my opponent just sends cards to the graveyard, I can steal their stuff. So I can get hit Bastille Magnum Hut. We'll set him perm for later, and we can finally end our turn with that ought to do it. I'll set favorite contact just in case. And what else can I fusion summon? I could summon like monster type and attribute, different names. No, I think that'll be good for now. I mean, he'll still get the Magnum Hut search. You know, we're up against Spice Shields. Luckily, think about evil heroes, which I totally missed on my first building of this deck. Most of them are not actually dark attribute. Only a few of our monsters are dark attribute or light attribute for that matter. So, yeah, he can banish some of my stuff, and yeah, he's got the Lightning Storm, which is not great, but we have the Dark Supremacy trap. I can basically just negate cards up the number of Dark Fusions and spells that mention it in my graveyard. And I could place some materials, any normal cards, bam, blah, blah. I could do a fusion with contact, but I don't need to do that yet. Not just yet. I get something like Sunriser if I need to. As it stands, we're up against Cynet Mining. Interesting. Bestials. Oh, this is the, what do you call it? Malice archetype. Let's see. Send a card from the graveyard. Yeah, dude, that's cool. I'm mostly just waiting for my opponent to send stuff to the grave, because then, like I said, that's where the new Neos Lord comes into play. He's a big bad boy with bad attitude. He's just like, your opponent sends anything to the graveyard? Or any monster to the graveyard? Well, then you're going to be giving me your stuff. So what does this do? Banish of Malice from the deck. All monsters get power. This guy get... Oh yeah, the Malice archetype. I've heard of these. They're like based on Alice in Wonderland. And essentially they just plus off of being banished. Like you banish them and then they get more stuff. Is this a tuner? No, they're not tuners. I think there's like a Link archetype if I'm not mistaken. Unless I'm mistaken, it's one of those. Let's see here. The Druid's Worm is not ideal. But if he links it off, I'll still get to steal something. So, it'll work. Plus, I can use favorite contact to like fuse off Neos Lord if I need to, so it's all good. It's all good. My evil machinations cannot be denied. That's just how it goes. You know, that's the thing about evil heroes. They're an evil bunch. They got dark, wicked ways and things. So what is this guy doing? Making Firewall Durgan. He's going to attempt to steal off my Neos Lord. But my opponent has made a fatal mistake, for I get to steal his Firewall Dragon. This is mine now. You can't have it. Mine. My big old dragon. Let's see here. What can I fuse into right now? Let's see. 2 heroes with different attributes. So probably could go... Yeah, Sunriser is definitely an option. I could also make Trinity. Fiend and a Warrior. Could also make Dark Knight. I mean, he's affecting Neos Lord, right? Or did he even get to choose? You know, I'll hold off for now. Let's hold off on favorite contact for now. It's all good. I mean, most important thing, yeah, he'll get Parallel Exceed. I get his Firewall Dragon. Yeah, I lose the Neos Lord, but he did his job. Also, I play in Perm because I'm an evil son of a gun, and I'm just going to negate your effects. And you have succumbed to evil. There you go. So that's essentially what this deck is about. We go first. We interrupt our opponent just a smidge. We don't have any floodgates or anything. We have some negates, obviously, but for the most part, a little bit of interruption, and then we run our opponent over. You know, Backlash is going to let us do massive burn damage to my opponent if he filled the board with monsters. I had Neos Lord to steal my opponent's stuff. I could make Bane and nuke the board. And I stole his Firewall Dragon. I don't remember always what this thing does. Target monsters on the field. I'm not co-linked. I don't co-link that often, so this was useless. Other than the fact that I stole it for the power of evil. I stole it. Drew would be so proud of me. Okay, so that's the first duel. You get a perfect idea of what this deck is trying to do. Just kind of set up a little bit, run with it. So let's go for duel number 2. Show off some more evil combos that we can do. Alright, everybody, our second opponent. Let's go be evil again. Ooh, indeed. Okay. Seriously, how does Alter see through this darn thing? Okay, so what do we have in our opening hand? It's not pretty, but with a combination of certain things, I think I can make it work more or less. What are we going to grab here? Because if I get Prison, Netcrom, no, I need a Fusion. So I need, where is Dark Calling? I need Dark Calling, yes. For this instance, I will need Dark Calling, because I need to fuse with the stuff that is in my graveyard. We're going to have to hope that we can at least summon somebody. It's not going to be like the best dude in the world, but it'll do. It'll do. Let's get Bane onto the board. He's nice and protected from things. We got ourselves our Bubble Boy. He's going to let me draw a couple new cards. Nice card, Bubble Boy. Basically just like a better Bubble Man, honestly. Okay. Not too shabby. I mean, it's something. We'll... let's see. Fusion, materials. I don't have any other fusion. I would have really liked an evil hero that was just like fusing 2 evil heroes or something like that. Sadly, it is not the case. I need specifically warriors to do this. I suppose I could make Sunriser, but that doesn't really make any sense. So I'll take my turn there. Pretty safe opening turn. Pretty safe, you know. I've got a monster defense if I need it. I got Bane who can't be destroyed by stuff. I've got Super Poly if I need the Super Poly things. I got Perm. I'm not locked in anything with like Rider or anything, so I'm good. So we just gotta wait and see where the Gate Guardian is gonna be going. Gate Guardian, the Labyrinth Wall archetype, I guess. It's funny that Gate Guardian is not an archetype, but Labyrinth Wall is. That's funny. Okay, so what is this guy doing? The Labyrinth Wall doing you literally nothing, so that's cool. Evil Assault? I'll do it. I'll pinch you some salt, Thur. So let's ditch Contact. And we are going to get Prison. Because that way I can ditch Shadow Mist, and then Shadow Mist will get me gold, and then I get my Fusion. I'd say that sounds like a pretty gosh darn good idea. I could also just ditch Necrom too, but I think in this instance, I want to go with Mist. Because he'll get me my, he'll get me a Dusted Gold. That'll get me my Fusion spell. All the good stuff. All the good stuff. So where is a Dusted Gold? Let's get good old gold. I always like that the Dusted Gold is just... He's so much better with the new support. Because you used to search like almost nothing but the Fusion spell. But now we can search all sorts of stuff. So what we're going to do here... Let me think about this. I could get my boss monster. I get a lot of things with this hand. That's the thing. So I'm just gonna keep it nice and simple because I can. And actually, you know what? As much as I want to summon my boss like every duel, and I can very easily do that, I want to do something a little different because I feel like this guy is trying to set some things up. I want to interrupt that to some degree. Oh, I could summon Malicious Fiend, though. No, that costs me too. I don't have the materials for Fiend. I would love to go for Fiend. I want to go for Fiend. It's just a bad idea right at the moment. I really want to summon that guy, though. He doesn't do much. He just forces your opponent to attack him. But combine Fiend with Backlash, there you go. That's some ideas for you. Your opponent has to attack Backlash or Fiend, and then Backlash keeps burning the opponent. I think. Wait. You hitting Bane? Oh, right, you can't target me. That's it. No! Super Polly! Polly don't want no cracker! Well, that sucks a lot. I'm gonna have to go Dark Contact then. Gosh dang, I knew he was setting up something. I knew he was setting up something. Let's see. Thinking here. Thinking here. What do I have available? What can I make? I need to make things. Let's start off with Miraculous Fusion. We'll summon out Sunriser and hope for the best. Because you can only negate one thing. So, banish. And we'll banish. Summon out Sunriser. And then, Dark Contact. Fusion summoning again. And this ought to work, because I'm going to summon out my Dark Knight. He's literally Evil Hero Batman. He is literally Evil Hero Batman. So let's recover Backlash and Shadow Mist. That way I can use Backlash again later. And we'll make this dude. He will weaken all my opponent's monsters equal to the attack of the materials I used to summon him out. Pretty neat. And let's see. Yeah. I'd say that will work. So let's attack into Draxtapelia here. I can then use my hero, pop the field spell, because I don't trust the field spell at all. He'll use his Draxtapelia here, but I'm going to have to... Well, I don't necessarily have to negate that. What does this do again? No, it lets him set up. No. No, I cannot allow the field spell to live. Normally, I'd let the field spell go, but not against this. Because Gate Guardians, I know from experience, you give them an inch, they will take your balls. And I don't want that. No, I don't. So we'll end our turn. I think that'll do it for now. Really just depends on what this guy can do here from here. He's got the Sangha. He had another field spell. I should have hit Song. Oh, it doesn't really matter. He can banish that from the graveyard, so it wouldn't matter. Wouldn't really have mattered. More annoying than anything, because now he's got the... what's this? Is this the one that just pops thing, or is it the one that searches stuff? This is the one that searches cards. But it can search the thing that pops things. Yeah. Double attack, Wind und Thunder. But I can recover a Fiend or Warrior if this gets left the field. But that doesn't work on, like, a lot of my fusions because, you know, silly reasons. Let's see. Well, that's unfortunate. I don't get much out of this, but I can get back Toxic Bubble. It won't do me much good, but I have Toxic Bubble. I've got the Bubble Boy. Sometimes that's all you need. So, that will, I assume you're going to get Suijin. That's the only one we haven't seen yet, so I'm going to assume it's Suijin. Or get back Sangha. Okay. Alright, well, he's got the Sangha of the Thunder, big old fusion man. You're going to crash into me here, because you wanted to summon a Bangish, Sangha, or Kazejin. Okay. I guess that's an option. But you forget that my boy has an effect too. So I'm going to just pop Kazejin. That works if I'm attacked too, sir. You have to prepare for my evil planning. Oh, balls. Do I have a dark monster? I don't. Ooh, boy, that's not good. Is this summon with dark element? That's bad. Because now there was something that this gets additional, right? This is summoned by dark element. Unaffected monster affects the opponent's activated spells or effects. Yeah, so I basically have to make something that's just straight up bigger than this, and that is not easy for me to do. Oh boy. Oh boy. We're gonna have to work on that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and banish. Get that going. This can negate things that target him, but not everything. Okay. Can't super poly this dude because he doesn't have the right materials on the board for me to do that, sad to say. Okay, we're gonna have to be snarky about this. Essentially, I'm gonna have to turtle up for a turn. So let's go ahead and use Infernal the Vither. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta reveal my material boy. Get Neos. Really wish I had a favorite hero available right now. I could summon out Giant Flame Wingman, but sadly I don't have that option. But what I do have an option to do is to be like every great villain ever and just sit in defense mode. Summon out Neos. So target face-up monster, take control of it. But obviously this is unaffected. If I target this, it won't do anything, sadly. So really, I'm just stuck here until I get a way to get Honest Neos. If I get Honest Neos, I can still win this duel. That's just how it goes. Because this guy can't be destroyed by battle at all. So even if he has Gate Guardian, even if he has Dark Guardian, I don't really care. Not especially. Now, granted, if he can make... What was his name? I think that there is a fusion that can negate stuff. I think it's the Water Wind one. If he can get that, I'm just boned. I'm boned at that point. Boned, I tell you. Does this protect anybody? Yes, it does. Oh, hey, it's the guy I was just talking about. That works. Okay. I was like, oh, man, we're in trouble. I have to wait here for things and stuff and things. Can I super poly somebody? Oh, I got like 2 Dark Mosses. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that no more, sir. I'm going to attack your Dark Guardian. And then I'm going to activate my Honesty Neos to double, essentially, my attack power. Goodbye to you. Alright, there you go. Evil machinations aside. And y'all just get flattened. So, hey, there you go. That's good for our second duel. We got to show off more of what the evil hero do. I mean, it does revolve around this guy a lot, but he's so good. Not so much against this deck, because, you know, I can't affect this, and this I don't want to target, but, you know, Neos Lord! Alright, everybody, our third and final opponent, the last chance for evil to come out. And that's what we're going to do. We're thumbing out all the evil boys. Our opening hand is... I mean, it depends on what he's playing. Playing Sprights and Dimension Shifter. Oh boy. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I think I can still like use Garura on like the sprites because they're all like Dark and Thunder, so. There's a potential here for super polying my opponent. Something along those lines. Let's see. Same attribute, different type. No. Same type of attribute, different names. There you go. Okay. It's all going to depend on what this guy's got. I think I'll be able to super poly him in order to get things going in that direction. But it's all going to depend on like what he sets up. Because I can super poly these, I can super poly those. All depends. All depends indeed. So, well, you know, gonna have my evil machinations. Gonna have, you know, some planning. Some stuff like that. What is this? Shuffle. Okay, add a card back to hand and shuffle a card from the hand into the deck. He just really wants that D shifter. Just really wanted D shifter. Okay, it is our turn here. And let's see, D shifter is in effect, right? So anything I send to the graveyard will just avail me nothing, which really stinks. But I guess we'll super poly, which, you know, it's all I can do. It's all I can do. It's all I'm going to be able to do this turn. But I've got Garura on the board. He's bigger than this thing. I'll take it. So let's just beat over him with Garura. You know, I really should have this in attack mode. Most people don't know this, but Garura does have another effect. He does do double battle damage. You know? It's just an effect that does not come up very much. So that'll take care of that. This will take care of that. I'd love to go for my prison. But Doesn't help me much, does it? No. Doesn't help me much that he's playing that stinky little D shifter. And the Spright starter. So he's gonna Spright some more. If you're so thirsty, get yourself a Coke. What's wrong with you? Alright, well anyway, he's got the Spright blue. So he's gonna be able to start more combos. Oh boy, Spright combos. Here we go. Okay, so he's got the hand trap. We can deal with the hand trap to a degree. Not ideal, but it's what it is. Let's see, add a Spright spell trap. I guess. Maybe I'm wrong to let him do this, but like, it's not like I have anything else I can do. Oh, I hate decks like this that just get rid of all my graveyard and stuff. I mean, people complain about Omni negates and things, and I can agree to that to some degree. It's really just how much Omni negates you can make in a turn. But when your opponent plays a card that just says no grave, or no extra deck for a turn, or no drawing for a turn, or stuff of that nature, those really get under my skin. Yeah, they really do. What is this? Oni Bimaru. Okay. I mean, we have the graveyard back, right? Or we don't. Or do we? Oh, we'll find out in a second. No, he can't. I still have the graveyard. Oh, okay. Thank you. I have my graveyard back. Hooray. I'll take it. Now, the big question is, yeah, he's going to go for double A Zeus, as we kind of figured he would. Kind of figured. People can't play this game without this mother trucker no more. And he's likely to... Okay, no. He's got a D shifter here. He might... If he was smart, he would consider using Sky Thunder now. He'd consider it. Yeah, there he goes. Well, balls to me, I suppose. I mean, I'll imperm him, but it's not going to do me any good. I'll imperm him anyway. There will be no destruction, sir. I guess I could have allowed him to destroy his board, and that would have worked too, but yeah, doesn't matter. I guess. Oh, man, this is annoying. It's annoying because I need my graveyard to start doing stuff, and my opponent's just like, no graveyard allowed ever. You're not allowed. And now he's used that dang D shifter, and I don't get a graveyard on my turn. I don't get a turn to do the things I want to do. I mean, okay, hold on. I can still use a dusted gold. I can still do something, maybe. What is banished? That's your banished. There's also your stuff. No. No. I'll have to look at that in a second. I think what I want is Dark Contact, though. Is this to negate spells? No. Let's get this. Let's get Dark Contact. Maybe. Maybe, baby. Alright, so what I'm going to do here... do I have anything I can poly? I think I... Okay, a warrior and a rock. No. What am I able to polymerization? That's a good question. Let's find out. I'm actually not sure who I'm fusing into right here. But, well, okay, it's Sunrise. Of course, Sunriser. Yeah, 2 heroes. Alright, cool. Let's summon Sunriser, which, you know, obviously my opponent can just stop it with Spright Red, but if he does, oh boy, you're in trouble there. You in trouble. You is in trouble. You're gonna make it double. Garura wanted to make it double, but we will honor his sacrifice. So yeah, we got Sunriser. Yeah, he'll stop that. Well, that's fine, because that's what we wanted him to do. Alright, Sunriser has stopped. Let's activate Dark Contact. Fusion Summon. And yeah, if we make Bane, this guy can't be destroyed by stuff. So these two, into Bane. Aha! And he's bigger than you. Oh wait, this is sense cards to the graveyard. I'm dumb. No! My evil intellect was too much for the card game to handle. Dang it. Okay, you know what? That's fine. Let's set this card. I can't play it or anything. Oh no, I can play it. I can't play it. It won't save me though. It won't save me anyway, because I don't have any spells. I got no spells. I need another dark contact, and my opponent's just gonna sprite me. Yeah, because that'll activate Nimble Angler, and then that's gonna summon out beavers and lots of beavers. Gosh dang it! I would like to point out, I'm not losing the sprites. That's the thing. I'm not losing to sprites. I'm not losing to Nimbles. No, I'm losing to D-Shifter. D-Shifter is literally the thing that's carried this dude this whole duel. And I'm slightly salty about it. Because now he's going to be making Swap Frog, and he's going to make Totally Awesome. He gets that Omni Negate, which I can't do balls about. Can't do much of ball. Freezing Chains of the Ice Barrier? Really? 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 Alright, well, hot dang, I think I just lose. I mean, anything I try to play, he'll just negate the first thing I can play that'll do me any good. I don't got much at the moment. He's going to summon another frog if he has any next turn. Probably just like another stoop frog or something. But hot dang, man. That stinks. That stinks. D-Shifter! I hope the ban list bans you, D-Shifter. Or at least put you to 1 or something. Something. Alrighty, my little minions, and that concludes our adventure here today with the evilest of heroes. I'm gonna take this off now. I think that's enough. But yes, very nice showing by the evil heroes, I must say. You know, you'd think you need to combine with like all the other normal hero stuff, like, you know, Ferris and the like, to make them good. But honestly, on their own, evil heroes work just fine. You know, they might not like make 20-30 minute turns or any nonsense like that, but I actually really like the fact that they don't do that. That Konami, you know, they looked at the evil heroes, they saw what they do, they saw what they needed, but they didn't abuse it so much. You know, they didn't abuse them to any time. I mean, it's not like this was a continuous trap that Omni negates. That might have been something, but they didn't. So I'm really glad that the evil heroes turned out the way they did. You know, a Dusted Gold surges out so much more than they used to. Bubble Man is just really great for field presence and drawing things. Prison sets up for so many plays. And good old Infernal Rider, you know, he's a lone rider, but he rides for us. So, very nice showing by the evil heroes. I really appreciate them, so I hope you guys did as well. If you did, don't forget to, you know, hit the like button, consider subscribing, help the channel keep going. You know, we're ups and downs all the time, so we keep looking forward. We keep looking forward no matter what. And if you want to join our Discord server, I have a Discord server as well. It's right next to that subscribe button, so you know, that's that. So if you want a place to just chat about Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, all the things we do on this channel, gaming in general, life in general, whatever, that's an option for you. So here's the deck list real quick, and we'll just say what we're going to be doing after that. So for our main deck, we have things like Elemental Hero Neos and Malicious at 1, just like nice little one-off cards you use. 2 copies of Honesty Neos, because your opponent never sees it coming. 1 Infernal Rider, because we only really need 1. We don't really tribute summon very often, so really 1 Infernal Rider is good. 1 Sinister Necrom, because we like to send this guy to the graveyard to banish to summon out things like Rider from the deck. 3 Dusted Gold, because it searches anything that's Dark Fusion or mentions the darn thing. 2 Stratos, in case we just have to start like a normal bloody hero player, that sort of thing. We have 3 copies of the Doom Prison, very nice card that lets me just ditch one of my monsters in the graveyard, and then I can use them as material for anything that lists specific monsters. We have, of course, our Shadow Mist, which is what we usually send with Prison, just to allow me to search out more heroes, especially a Dusted Gold. 3 copies of Vion. I find Vion is very useful in this deck, as I can just ditch Necrom. Necrom summons Prison. Prison ditches Shadow Mist, gets gold, things like that. Very nice start 'em up card, and it's also a good reason to potentially run like Mass Change in this deck. 3 copies of Toxic Bubble. 1, because it's a thing you can put on the board for free. 2, it lets you draw a card as long as you have any of your fusion monsters that require Dark Fusion on the board. And 3, it's a Bubble Boy. That's all the answer I need. It's just a toxic, bubbly boy. 3 copies of A Hero Lives. You know, you only need 1 life point. You don't need to gain any more life points than that. So, you know, Your Hero Lives is just a really good card to set things up for yourself. Get out your Stratos, especially. Or Vion, but more often than not, use this to churn out Stratos, get yourself a Vion, that sort of thing. Dark Calling lets me fusion with the stuff in my grave and in my hand. Nice card if I happen to have like everything set up into the graveyard, a nice late game sort of card. Regular Polymerization, which I can't fuse it to a bunch of my fusions, but I can fuse it into, like, you know, Sunriser. I can make it into Garura if I kind of needed to for whatever reason. I can use it to make Infernal Rage, things like that. It's good to always have like one copy of Poly. One reinforcement of army for the obvious reason that we got like level 4 warriors in this deck. Good old Miracle Fusion to fusion my monsters from the graveyard. Really good for summoning out things like Trinity for a late game beat stick. Got Dark Fusion, of course. You always want to run at least one copy of Dark Fusion to fusion your monsters, of course. It's a very nice spell, and it protects your monsters from being targeted for a turn, so really good for when your opponent's got like imperms and the like. One copy of Dark Contact, which is maybe a thing to consider more than one copy of in the future. Like, I don't know, maybe, because this does let me use the monsters that are banished or in the grave or in the field to summon out my Dark Hero monsters, so that's another thing too. It also just adds Serpent King's Castle Dark Fusion. We're not playing the castle, but a card that also searches out Dark Fusion, not bad. 3 copies of the new Evil Assault. This is like an amazing card in this deck. Lets me summon a hero from my deck or add it to the hand, whatever I'd like to do. It only locks me into heroes, but we're playing nothing but heroes, so it's not a problem. And I can banish it to recover Dark Fusion after a turn. So, really nice card to have. 1 copy of Call by Grave, because we don't like hand traps. 2 Super Polys to, you know, fuse my heroes into each other to get extra damage or OTKs. And I can occasionally fuse it to my opponent's stuff if I happen to need to interrupt their flow. Triple Imperm, because this is an evil hero deck, we'll play evil cards. 1 copy of a Favorite Contact, which I can use to summon like a bunch of different monsters, but more often this is trying to summon that Neo Swingman. And then lastly, but certainly not least, is Dark Supremacy, which we can just negate the effects of face-up cards up to the level of Dark Fusions and spells that mention it. So it'll, you know, for every Evil Assault, for all the Dark Contacts, for all the Dark Fusion, for all the Dark Calling, this will negate that stuff. And you can banish it to recover 5 heroes that are in the grave or banished. So, pretty nice card. For our extra deck, a lot of one-ofs. We got 1 Devicer, which we play exclusively to search out Neos. 1 Wonder Driver to let me recover a Poly after I fusioned. 1 Dread Decimator to make our monsters bigger. We have our Mud Dragon and our Garura as our fairly generic Super Poly targets. 1 Infernal Backlash because it allows me to search out more of my cards and also lets my monsters do burn damage when they beat over stuff. 1 Thunriser because it lets me search out my Miracle Fusion, and when my heroes battle, I can pop stuff, as long as it's not Sunriser battling, you know. We have good old Batman. We got old Batman in the Elemental Heroes now. He weakens everything, he can attack twice, and if he gets destroyed, he revives a Fiend or a Warrior, which sadly doesn't work on most of the evil heroes, which I think is silly, but, you know, there had to be some kind of balance to this thing. But it can revive things like, you know, Shining, well, it can't revive Wingman, it can revive, it can revive Stratos to give you more searches and things like that. So, you know, I didn't focus on that last effect as much, but that's an option for other builds. We have our 1 Infernal Rage, which we make exclusively in this build to make into Wingman, which is, you know, like a side of side tech. So, you know, I could have got a little bit different with the Infernal Rage, but this is my first going into the Evil Hero, so I just figured I'd throw them in here so I could make Neos Wingman, that sort of thing. Then, of course, we have our finished hero Trinity, which can become a 5,000 beat stick that can attack 3 times in a battle phase. You only attack monsters, but if you just need a big old beat stick, like against that Gate Guardian player, this would have also been really good. We get old Malicious Bane, who can nuke boards, make my monster bigger. All the good stuff can't be destroyed by battle, can't be destroyed by card effects. Really nasty beat stick, the original evil hero big boss monster. Then we have, of course, Shining Wing Neos Man, which is pretty good. You destroy every card my opponent controls on a number of different attributes amongst the monsters on my board when he's summoned out. 300 attack for every monster in my graveyard. Can't be destroyed by card effects. Not something we summon often, but when we do, it's pretty neat. Good old Malicious Fiend, which I wanted to summon, but basically just like a gravitational pull. Your opponent's forced to attack him. You know, you can attack every. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he forces everything your opponent to attack him. That's all he does. But I wanted to summon him, but didn't happen today. But last but certainly not least, we have good old Neos Lord. Very powerful fusion, can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. If he's summoned or my opponent's monster sent to the graveyard by battle, by card effect, by being fusion summoned, link summoned, Xyz materials too, this will steal one of your opponent's monsters. It's pretty dang nasty. And as for the side deck, pretty straightforward, honestly. I mean, if you go more traditional with the heroes things, go ahead, throw Ferris in. You want to do the whole Ferris increase combo, etc., etc. If you want to take 30 minutes to take your turns, go with your Vision Heroes. Put all Malicious in here, etc. There's also evilhero Infernal Prodigy, which can just be summoned from the hand. And if he's tributed for a tribute summon, you get to draw another card during the end phase. So, it's something, but you don't play it as often. And then there's, of course, other evilhero fusions. If you want to go harder with the fusions, play more Dark Contacts, things of that nature. There's also Dark Law, because while most of the evil heroes are like light attribute, or earth attribute, or water attribute, Vion is still a dark attribute. So, if you want to throw in Dark Law just to screw with your opponent's graveyard, go ahead. You're basically just playing Dimension Shifter, but with extra steps, essentially. If your opponent's playing a lot of hand traps and things, good old triple tactical combination of talent and thrust never will do you wrong. And then if you want another Dark Supremacy just to keep negating your opponent's stuff, that's an option too. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. I hope you very much enjoyed. Next time, we got a real banger of a mashup of cards. We're taking a look at Heroic Champions plus Dinomorphia. It's gonna be wild. So, until next time, everybody, I'll stay safe and happy. And you have an evil sort of day.